addressed in the budget process. So this is just a cleanup of our salary ordinance and just in the removal of those items. So what you'll have left on your ordinance is simply your employees. Happy to address any questions.
But none of these pay scales have changed?
No pay scales have changed, sir, no.
Right. The only thing I had a question about, and hopefully you can clarify just a little bit more, is why we would want to take, I'm really thinking about the mayor and the council off of the salary structure that has the ranges in place already, and then if it is removed, how those salaries and things will be governed, and who will be in charge of dictating that.
Yeah, those will come to you in the budget process.
Okay.
That's how those will be addressed. You know, you could still set a range, but basically they don't really belong on the ordinance. You just address that through the budget process.
So how would we go forward until the 2014 budget is in place?
Well, the salaries would remain the same.
Okay.
With the 3% that was passed this year, so was the 3% for all of these positions. That all stays in effect. There is no change to salary. We'll just address it in the budget process, and if there will be increases in those salaries for 14.
Do we anticipate, and this is probably a Cheryl question as well, through the budget process, having some sort of range in place for these positions that is worked within the budget, since it won't be by ordinance any longer? Will we have something as part of the budget planning that states the range of pay for these positions?
We will, actually, as part of the budget, we'll be allocating what that pay will be, so you'll know what the compensation will be for those positions.
Will we have any limitations in place to make sure that, and not that it is a concern at this time, but at some point to say you can't go beyond this? Is there something that states it has to be locked in? Because otherwise, then, if we're voting on a total budget, we're going to be dependent on looking at this one line item and making sure it's addressed, and if it's overlooked or if some state it to be such a minor issue, not to be a concern, but it's in a way that could be exposed a little bit, and that's one of my concerns by removing it from the ordinance as it states.
When you approve the budget with the specific compensation, that's what we would have spend authority for those positions. So if we were to change those compensations for those positions, we'd bring that back to you.
Right.
Okay.
We wouldn't adjust, right, we wouldn't.
Not to
The
exceed.
budget would be approved in August.
Okay.
And then any change, if there's any change, would occur January 1 the following year. So there'd be that window of time between August and December 31 where they remain in the previous years, and then so you would be adopting that range. It remains the same up or down
Right.
at that time, and then it starts in January 1, and then those are all approved on January 1.
So if someone had the desire to address those specifically between that range, they could bring the individual piece to the table and vote and act on that?
And they,
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
That's why I want to make sure, was that we still have the opportunity to address these individually if necessary and make sure that there is
You would.
checks and balances.
You would.
Okay.
So, Mayor, would
Thank
we, sorry, Heath, would we take out Section 2, which is 24 FTE, out of the 103 then, of the gross amount?
Section 2 is not counted in your total employee count.
Okay. It's not included in the total funded positions?
It's included in your budget, but where it says total funded positions, that's just the employees in Section 1.
Okay. Thank you.
How would council like to proceed with ordinance 2422?
I move we pass ordinance number 2422, providing for the range of salaries and compensation of various city employees.
Second.
Motion Harrison, second Morrow, that we pass ordinance 2422. Harrison,
Yes.
Morrow,
Yes.
Gregorczyk,
Yes?
Bodovich.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
2422 passes. Thank you. Okay. Council updates. Staff, anything for council?
Nothing for council.
No. Good work to everyone who pulled together on snow removal, A and B. We had more than a season's worth of snowfall in 2 days, 2 events, and very well done. And I know that it is challenging, and the crews worked a lot of long hours, and we had folks that normally are not involved in that. So I was very pleased that everyone pulled together, and we were not limited by departmental silos when it came to getting the job done, and that was tremendous. So thank you all very much. Council, anything else?
Yeah, I think I expressed my compliment from the citizens on Hawthorne, which is where I live, to Cheryl or David or one or the both of you, that they were real happy with, to Mayor's point, A and B, Snowmageddon, and y'all's, removal and timeliness. Specifically, I thought it was pretty interesting. I know it's apples to oranges, but on Snow A, we had somebody, plowing the snow down Hawthorne at 2 p.m. when the rest of Johnson County was just waking up, if you will, to the fact that we had 12 inches of snow on the ground. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And a couple of neighbors, as I was out shoveling 1,250 pounds of snow, were giving the thumbs up to the driver as he walked down or drove down the road. So for what it's worth, thank you.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion Harrison, second Morrow, that we adjourn. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
For the record, Dan, I second that motion.
Oh, you did? Sorry.
I can let her.
Okay.
No, I have them.
Oh, we can pull it off next week.
So, do you have a second to go over? Sure.